What's going on, guys? Jimmy Mahalik here, back with a second stimulus check update today for you guys. So I have some good news for you guys in regards to the second stimulus package or a second stimulus payment to Americans in this video. So make sure you guys stay tuned. And also, if you're not subscribed yet, click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. This way you won't miss out on new videos coming out about the second stimulus check. And also on this channel, I have videos about personal finance and ways to make money from home. Nancy Pelosi, who is the Speaker of the House and the lead Democrat, she was the main person that got the first stimulus check to Americans passed, just gave an interview yesterday with Time, and she has some very interesting things to say. She goes on to say, and I quote, "If we don't act in a very serious way now, it's only going to get worse." And she goes on to say, listen to the chairman of the Fed, who I will show you what he said here in just a minute. She says, putting money in the pockets of the American people through direct stimulus payments is so important. And she talks about how important the direct payments are to Americans in the form of another stimulus check, saying that this was the most important thing for the Democrats right now. So remember, the HEROES Act has a second payment of $1,200 to be sent to Americans that's already passed the House, and we're waiting on the Republicans to pass that. And the Republicans want to negotiate on that. And the Democrats are now saying that no matter what the Republicans want to negotiate on, if it doesn't have a direct stimulus payment to Americans, that the Democrats probably aren't going to pass anything at all without a second stimulus check being paid to Americans. And Nancy Pelosi and top Democrats have also been in favor of the $2,000 per month stimulus packages. So basically, as they negotiate with the Republicans, they're saying that if there is no stimulus check to Americans, that they won't pass anything. That's pretty much the Democrats' non-negotiable, that there has to be a second stimulus check for Americans. And we actually have some positive news from the Republicans and Trump. The Republicans are saying now that President Trump is going to be their lead in whether or not they want a second stimulus package. And Trump has already said in recent days that he is now in favor of a second stimulus payment to Americans. And we've also had this exact same news from senior White House officials saying there will definitely be another stimulus package coming from Trump and the White House. Now, one of the main factors in this is that this is an election year. In just a few months, President Trump is going to be up for re-election, and he's now saying he's in favor of a second stimulus check. So if he's going to be the lead Republican and the Republicans are going to follow what he says, and the Democrats are saying that they're not going to negotiate on anything if there's not a second stimulus payment to Americans, they're both kind of saying the same thing. So what's basically going to happen here is that in the upcoming days, there's going to be a negotiation, and Trump is going to come out and even more publicly say that he wants a second stimulus. He wants the Republicans to vote for this. So this way, it looks like he is the one that is giving you the stimulus check, so that when the election comes around here in a few months, he'll want you to remember that he passed the second stimulus check for you. Now, whether Trump should get the credit or not, you guys can let me know down below in the comments. But this is really good news because Trump is saying he wants stimulus, and we have an election coming up in a few months, and we know that he wants to get more votes. Republicans are saying that they're going to follow Trump's leads, and Democrats are saying that they will not pass another stimulus package, which the Republicans do want another stimulus package. There's all these things that the Republicans want, and there's all these things that the Democrats want. And all these things kind of get put into one package. It's not just a payment to Americans, which is what it should be, but both sides want all these different things in a stimulus package. So we're now seeing favor from Democrats and Republicans for the next stimulus package. So it's only a matter of time until they negotiate on this and pass this stuff. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. And also, if you can, hit the like button for me. It really helps out my channel. And also down below in the comments is a link to the Webull investing app. When you sign up with them, you can get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400. So that link is down below in the description. And if you're on a mobile phone, you have to click that little down arrow that's right next to the title. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says we cannot shut down the economy again. And Trump has actually said in recent days that he will not shut down the country again, even though it kind of comes from the state and the city governors, not necessarily the White House. Steve Mnuchin says that shutting down the economy for a second time to combat the spread of the virus isn't a viable option and could cause even more headaches for Americans. Which I do agree with. There's nothing good that can come out of shutting down the economy, is shutting down jobs, and millions of Americans not being able to work. The only good thing that can come out of that is the virus not spreading. So you kind of have to weigh the pros and cons of that. And the problem with that is we're seeing a spike and a new wave of the virus spreading. We've had up to 24 different states recently saying that they've had the most cases of the virus now than ever. As you can see here, Texas has reported 3 consecutive days of record-breaking hospitalizations, and 9 counties in California are also reporting a spike in new cases or hospitalizations. And I'll tell you, if we do have a second wave of this virus get out of control and we do have to shut down the country again, it's going to be very bad news for pretty much everything except for another stimulus package. If we shut down the country again, you can guarantee there will be a second stimulus package and maybe even a third or a fourth stimulus payment to Americans, because God help us all, if we have to shut this country down again, it is going to be an absolute nightmare in so many different ways. And with this news on Thursday, the Dow Jones stock index plummeted over 1,800 points in its worst day since March. I reported recently that the stock market has just been going up and up and up and up. We were actually within 10% of our all-time high, and we were up about 40% since the stock market low in March. In fact, this drop on Thursday was actually the 4th largest Dow Jones stock drop in one day, point-wise, the 4th largest stock drop ever. And coincidentally, the top 3 drops are all this year. And what's even crazier is the top 7 Dow Jones point gains ever. All top 7 of them in the history of the stock market have been this year. And the stock market does play a big impact on whether or not there will be a second stimulus package, because there's so much money in the stock market for things like pension funds and people's retirement funds that really affects Americans. And the White House and Congress really look at the stock market. If they see the stock market's plummeting day after day, then they really think the economy's in trouble, and it kind of sends mixed signals because, well, if the stock market's going up, but Americans are struggling and millions of people out of work, it kind of sends mixed signals for especially the Republicans in Congress. But if the stock market starts plummeting and we see a second wave of this virus, you can almost guarantee that there will be a second stimulus check, if not even a third stimulus check, if this country gets shut down again. Let's hope that that doesn't happen. So let me know if you have any questions down below in the comments. Also, I want to let you guys know, down below in the description, I have a phone number to the switchboard at the White House. When you call this number, you can actually ask them to connect you to President Trump's office or your senator's office or any congressman's office that you want to speak to. Call this number and tell your congressman in your state that we need stimulus, that you guys want stimulus, because if you tell your congressman and the White House how bad Americans are struggling and how bad we need this second stimulus check, all it can do is help show what you guys want from your congressman. So the phone number is down below, and that will connect you to the White House switchboard, and from there you can tell them which congressman you want to connect to, and you can tell them that we need a second stimulus and they need to hurry it up and not delay it so that it's closer to the election. We need this stimulus now. Make sure you guys are subscribed. I will keep you guys updated as we hear more news about the second stimulus check and all these updates. I have new videos coming out on the second stimulus check every day at noon Eastern Standard Time, so make sure you tune in. And over here, I had a video yesterday that talks about stimulus checks you can get from state and local governments such as cities and counties. So make sure you watch that. That's a very good video. And over here, I'll link a playlist that teaches you how to sell on Amazon. I have students that have replaced their entire 9-to-5 income by selling one product on Amazon. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.